What's going on, guys? Noobs here, and we've now had a few days to, look back at E3, catch our breath a little bit, unpack, unwind, and now I think is the time to look back and evaluate E3 2018 for Nintendo. Starting with, of course, really how I did as far as my predictions for E3. So let's take a little look here at the old bingo card. Well, I was obviously right that Smash Brothers got a blowout. I insisted it was going to be later than the online launch, and I was right. I said November, it's coming December. No GameCube-style Joy-Con. No Yoshi Switch blowout, which I thought was a given, so that was sad. No retro new game shown. Pokemon Switch, I said all the rumors were going to be true. I was right. There was no 3DS interlude at the show, so I was thankful for that. I said we were going to get our typical, sizzle reel of boring third-party stuff. I used Black Ops 4 to represent this, which is not coming to Switch, but I'm still going to give it to myself because we did get that boring third-party stuff. No Labo shown. No Metroid Prime 4. I called Fire Emblem Switch being shown and coming in 2019. No Tokyo Mirage Session port. No Advance Wars, I'm sad to say. I said either PUBG or Fortnite or both. And what do you know, Fortnite was not just announced, but in fact launched during E3. There was no new Animal Crossing. No next level games. No Mario RPG revival from Ubisoft. No Paper Mario Color Splash port. No Splatoon surprise, big or small, that I'm aware of. No Pikmin 4. No Mario Odyssey DLC. No new Super Mario Bros. All-Stars or otherwise. Although people keep saying that they think that's out there. It seems like that never really goes away. So maybe that's something they're waiting a little later to announce. I don't know. Oh, I said Mario Party, I guess, and I called that one. No Mario Maker 2 port, and no add-ons that would expand the online kind of virtual console Netflix-y service. So overall, I did not get a bingo, and, maybe I was kind of close in a couple places, but overall, let's be honest, I didn't get much on the old bingo card. I did also make Smash Brothers predictions earlier in a different video, and I was completely wrong on those as well. I mean, to start off with, I was calling out characters that I thought would be cut, and turns out none are being cut. In fact, all the old ones are coming back, so I was totally wrong there. I did say Ice Climbers and Snake would both be back, however. I was wrong about an ARMS character. That could still happen. I think it probably will. No Dixie Kong or Minecraft Steve. Oh, I also talked a lot in my predictions about what kind of Smash Brothers, additional modes would be in there. And they didn't really get into that at all as far as I'm aware, right? They really just focused on the characters and, kind of the actual meaty Smash part of the game instead of all the other stuff. Home run contest, target practice, break the targets, all-star mode, classic mode. They didn't get any of that, so we still don't know how that's going to go. I was sad to see that Bomberman is still an assist trophy along with Waluigi. I'm enjoying the internet's sort of ongoing Waluigi-related memes, and it seems like I'm not the only one who wants to see Waluigi. And it is a good point that now that we've got Daisy in the game as one of these Echo characters, now that they're doing these Echo characters, you really can't justify the lack of Waluigi. He's a perfect Luigi clone. He's like Bizarro Luigi. Come on, guys. So now that we've covered my predictions, let's get into the actual highs and lows. I guess we did a little bit already there. Obviously, Smash Brothers was the high. I mean, it was the focus of the whole show for Nintendo. Everything else, got a fraction of the time that Smash Brothers did. And look, some people will complain like, well, if you're not into Smash Brothers, there's just nothing for you at the show. But, I guess you could have said that about Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild in the years preceding. And I think overall it makes sense for Nintendo to put the emphasis on what will be their big game of the year. And it looks awesome. Smash looks amazing, so I'm not complaining. It was a highlight for me. Mario Party surprisingly looks like while it does look like it's a bit of a return to form, which I know a lot of people have wanted. Uh, they have actually said there will be some online gameplay, not the full board game competition, which I guess what people really wanted, but they've mentioned, like online leaderboards and things, which is personally what I'm more into. And I think it actually gives it gives me a little appeal for someone who isn't really going to play with other people. The idea that I could go in there and just compete for high scores online it makes it a little bit tempting. And I'm someone who rarely picks up Mario Party games. My kind of low-key favorite surprise of this whole thing this year was actually the original arcade Donkey Kong coming to Arcade Archives, in fact, being released now. This is something I've wanted forever, and based on what fans have kind of figured out in terms of the legality, who owns the rights to the original Donkey Kong code, it seemed like it might never happen, but here we are. We are in a world where you can play arcade perfect Donkey Kong, I think for the first time ever, which is a crazy thing to consider. Well, maybe the DK64 version. I don't know. It's good to see. You got a few modes based on the different versions of the games that were released. Online high scores. I know it's not a big deal, but it's a bit of a dream come true for me. I love King of Kong. If you've never seen that, it's incredible, and they should really do a follow-up since Billy Mitchell has been kicked out. All this stuff has happened since. I love the Donkey Kong high score drama, and I love kind of the history of Donkey Kong. It's maybe the most important game Nintendo's made, possibly. That's controversial to say, but so I think it's so cool that we finally get to really celebrate this important piece of Nintendo history. I love that. Oh, and Fortnite. I hadn't played it before this. It's out now. I've been playing it a bit, and it's fun. It's not really my kind of game, but just because I'm not really into the online stuff, I do like the actual kind of gameplay, the action of it. I think it's pretty cool, and it's great that Nintendo's finally got kind of the hot game of the moment on their system. It's so cool. Oh, and it's led to a bunch of bad press for Sony, and I always enjoy that. So those are the highs. The lows are just what wasn't there, right? It's just going through my bingo card, some of those were maybe a little overly optimistic, but a lot of that stuff was not unreasonable to think, okay, Metroid Prime 4 or Retro's game or Next Level Games game or Animal Crossing. It seems like there's so much missing, and I don't think there was there any actual inside first party EAD game shown at all, right? Smash Brothers is outsourced. Mario Party's outsourced. I'm hoping that this is just a quiet year and Nintendo's internal teams are all going to be back for next year. But I can't help but feel like we're every time Nintendo has a bit of success, they immediately go, oh, okay, we could take a break now. This happened with the Wii, right? With how long it went on with just nothing on the system towards the end. It seems like Nintendo gets complacent and then they immediately go, oh, good, we don't have to try anymore. Please, Nintendo, keep up the awesome flow of games for the Switch. The first year was so good for that, but here we are in year 2. It already feels like it's slowing down. We've already seen delays. It's concerning. Look, all hope is not lost. I don't think they've completely lost momentum here. I'm just concerned. Having said that, I was curious. I wanted to see what's really coming out for Switch from now through to the end of the year. Obviously, right away we got Mario Tennis Aces, the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy, and Wolfenstein 2 all in June. July has Captain Toad, Octopath Traveler, and the Mega Man X Legacy collections. August has the Okami port, Overcooked 2, Monster Hunter. September has, well, it's quite boring, NBA 2K, SNK Heroes, FIFA. Dark Souls is supposed to come out in Q3 sometime. October has Mega Man 11, Super Mario Party. November, of course, Pokemon Let's Go games. And then December is Smash Brothers Ultimate, plus a World Ends With You port in there sometime. So overall, I mean, there's certainly plenty of games in there that I want to get. It just feels a little slowed down, especially just like, last year it felt like there were just huge games coming out, and this year it feels like smaller, more niche games, more kind of stuff. It's more external stuff, right? So I'm hoping Nintendo Studios are just going to have a blowout year next year, and this is just a bit of a down year for them. One of the best things about E3 is the time afterward when all the interviews start trickling out, and then there's E3 news happening well after E3. So we've had a few Reggie interviews that have given us a bit of interesting news. The first one here is a real downer. On Virtual Console, he said, the Virtual Console successor is Nintendo Switch Online, right? With the mentality that says we're going to be offering a slate of games, and it's a slate that's going to increase over time. For many of these games, there's going to be additional online capability provided in those games. That's the vision we have for how to best bring our legacy content to Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I don't know, Reggie. If it's still these boring NES games that you've shown up to this point, that is not good. As bad as Virtual Console got sometimes, that's even worse. So I hope you're planning on doing better than that. And sometimes the lack of communication from Nintendo is what makes this so frustrating, right? I mean, he might be thinking, oh, we got Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, and you guys just don't know it yet. But like, if we take what he said here and then compare it to what they've announced, no, Reggie, it's not a replacement for Virtual Console. It's terrible. So I'm sorry, Reggie, you're gonna have to do better. Another thing from Reggie is just that there's more to come in the weeks and months ahead. I don't know. I mean, there were more Nintendo Directs, after E3 last year. I'm sure there'll be Smash Brothers Directs at the very least. I wouldn't be surprised if we got one or two announcements. I think that new Super Mario Brothers port's gonna happen. I just have a feeling. You should never get hyped on something Reggie says, but I think in this case, I don't know. It just feels like it, but we'll see. And then one more thing from Reggie to finish us off here. This was just a fun thing I enjoyed. He said the Canadian audience is the very tip of the mountain when it comes to Zelda games. Apparently, compared to the US, Zelda games sell even better in Canada. And you know what? I don't have anything to compare it to, but I do see a lot of, Zelda shirts, Zelda tattoos. So if that's anything to go on, he is correct. And yeah, that's the E3 wrap up. Let me know, guys, what were your highs and lows from E3 from Nintendo this year? Did you feel like it was lacking, or Smash Brothers enough for you? Do you think we'll get any more announcements for this year before the end of the year? Or do you think everything else is 2019 at this point? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.